Hi, everyone, and welcome to this monthly licensing update. We will be covering the product terms update and any other relevant information that we have found in the past weeks. So without further ado, let's dive in. As you can see on the screen, the earnings release from Microsoft for the fiscal year 2022. And the Q4 results seem to be quite impressive again. Revenue was up 12%, operating income increased 8%, net income only 2%, which is quite small, and that's all to do with the current economy and the market these days. The diluted earnings per share was up 3%, and that's a little less than the market was expecting. So you could see that as well in their stock price. So what they say is we see a real opportunity to help every customer in every industry use digital technology to overcome today's challenges and emerge stronger. And no company is better positioned than Microsoft to help organizations deliver on their digital imperative so they can do more with less. Well, that's the story that I've been telling for a while now, and it remains consistent. You see that the company is still growing, but their growing is flattening out due to the current climate in the economy. In a dynamic environment, we saw strong demand, took share, and increased customer commitment to our cloud platform. Commercial bookings grew 25%, and Microsoft Cloud revenue was $25 billion, up 28% year over year, Amy Wood, their CFO, said. As we begin a new fiscal year, we remain committed to balancing operational discipline with continued investment. So all in all, they look towards a bright future. Well, remains to be seen how the world economy is going to handle the coming events and if there's an actual recession on the way. But Microsoft remains a strong company. If you want to read more, there's a lot of impact on recent events, business highlights that they're sharing, and the full fiscal year results are here. So fiscal year 2022 revenue was 198 billion, increased 18%. Operating income increased 19%. Net income increased 19%. Diluted earnings per share 20%. And GAAP results include 3.3 billion net income tax benefit explained in the non-GAAP definition section below. So the numbers are here in the table overview and the positive business outlook, I think, for Microsoft. They will provide forward-looking guidance in connection with this quarterly earnings announcement on its earnings conference call and webcast. And you have a lot more things that they're highlighting, like quarterly highlights. You can find those when they are released, environmental, social, and governance. They have a website dedicated to this. So besides just the numbers, everybody wants to know how the environmental, social impact is of a company like Microsoft. So a little short introduction on that. If you want to read the in detail report, you can find that on the Microsoft blog or the investor website. So do take a look there. If we look at the product terms and the changes there, first thing that you notice is Microsoft 365. They updated device screen size limitation from 10.1 inch to 10.9 for F1 and F3. So they're increasing this limit. So if you had devices that were 10.1 or smaller, you could leverage an F1 or an F3 device. They're increasing the size to 10.9. So if you have 10.5 inch, for instance, devices, you could now potentially use F1 and F3, which I think is a beneficial change. It's reflected here on this page as well, the Microsoft 365 page. You see a couple of other changes as well. They added Microsoft Defender Threat Intelligence, which I assume is the same Threat Intelligence, but then rebranded as Microsoft Defender for the Defender brand. And in the Microsoft Viva section, they've released a product called Microsoft Viva Goals. And Microsoft Viva Goals is a goal setting and management solution that aligns teams to your organization's strategic priorities, driving results and a thriving business. It enables individuals and companies to organize and track their goals through objectives and key results. It immerses everyone in the company's purpose and top priorities and creates a culture of engaged employees focused on achieving common goals. If that's interesting to you, do reach out to your Microsoft representative or your partners to learn more on what it can do for you. So you see some changes here. Here's the 10.1 to 10.9 inch change. It's a very small thing to notice, obviously. But there's also a couple other things, like here Microsoft Managed Desktop as a managed service. They removed some of the language to make it easier to read. So Microsoft Managed Desktop includes an online service component and professional service component, which is subject to the professional service terms. And data handling, they removed references to Microsoft products and instead online service. And once data from the Microsoft Managed Desktop input services integrated to Microsoft Managed Desktop, any commitments to that data from the MMD input services no longer apply. Data in Microsoft Managed Desktop is governed by the product terms applicable to the Microsoft Managed Desktop. So it used to have its own DPA probably, and now it's covered in the product terms as well. And that is it for the changes to Microsoft 365. So they also state to have added something called Microsoft Defender Experts for Hunting. And I had to look that up because I was unaware on what this is. But if you look to the present day terms, it doesn't say anything yet. So it might still be that they need to upload this. But I did have a look. So Microsoft Defender Experts for Hunting. It's threat hunting that extends beyond the endpoint. So it's, as I understand, a managed service that they offer, proactive comprehensive threat hunting, unify cross-domain signals that go beyond the endpoint with the Defenders for Experts for Hunting. It's expertise on demand, so let our expert handle threat investigation and provide you with remediation instructions. Cross-domain hunting, get a full picture of the attack story as we reason over 24 trillion cross-domain threat signals each day. Deploy threat hunting in hours across all Microsoft 365 Defender products. So with this, you get Microsoft experts to help you in your threat hunting process, as well. I understand it. But we don't have any licensing guidance up until now, as it's not entered correctly into the product terms as of yet. So when it arrives, we'll be sure to share it out as well. Then Microsoft Learning removed references to Imagine Academy. The offer is now provided at no cost via education license agreement, and the terms are provided during the sign-up process. Institutions, I won't cover that in much further detail. Then Microsoft Teams updated health sector customers clause with a language regarding medical records. So if we look to this, you see health sector customers, and they added a clause stating any information provided by customer or its patients in Microsoft Teams that's necessary for medical records continuity or retention purposes should be downloaded, copied, and or notated directly in such records by customer. This service does not maintain legal medical records or a designated record set. So apparently they must have gotten a lot of questions around it and decided to clarify this in the Teams section on the product terms. Next, software assurance benefits, updated references of home use program to workplace discount program to align with branding. No changes to the terms itself. So we have a look here. Home use program is now called workplace discount program. And you just see that this is indeed just a branding change. So the home use program is now the workplace discount program, but the clause is still the same as it was before. Finally, subscription license suites added Microsoft Defender for Endpoint Plan 1 to the Microsoft 365 Enterprise and Education tables. As you can see here, this was added, Defender for Endpoint Plan 1, and to show in what suites this is available or is not available. So you can see that for Microsoft 365 E3, the Defender for Endpoint Plan 1 is included in that suite. Also here for education, same thing applies. Now, short but sweet, not a lot of updates this month. Hopefully after the holidays, we'll get a lot more notifications out from Microsoft on the future of their licensing, so to say. I did expect a lot more changes right now already, but seeing as it's not there yet, we might only hope that this will arrive in the next period. If you've followed me online, thanks for watching. If you're watching this on demand, also thanks for watching. Do like the YouTube clip, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it, and it helps us reach a larger audience.